evening, all. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Thursday. And we're now at the 21st of October, 2021. And we're about 5:10 p.m. Central Time. I'm counting down because I leave town a week from today. I'm excited. All right. But let's take a look at what's going on. And you do know I didn't put one of these out yesterday. It's called Hooky Day. Hey, these are free. My paid subscribers, I did my subscription videos, my written updates, everything for them. These are free. Every now and then I'll play hooky. I was just on, literally 45 minutes ago from right now. I was on Sky Business in Australia, Melbourne, and nice long interview talking about my thoughts as to where we're at, and I gave them my thought, watershed event on inflation. And they want to know, what does that mean? I said, it's here. But it's here for the everyday man now. When you get Procter & Gamble, Unilever telling you all their price goods are going up, it's here. You're going to get it in toilet paper. You're going to get it in soaps. You're going to get it in dishwashers, detergents. You're going to get it every time you turn around, a little bit here, a little bit there. It's here. And it's not going to go away. I looked at all those ships. Today, Bloomberg did a big special today, and might still be on, where they're out in the ports in Los Angeles, San Diego, and Long Beach, and they're at those areas, and they're looking at the ships out there. And I was listening intently as to what's going on, because I know that they can't unload all the ships. And the reason is they can't get the containers out of the yards that they've unloaded to make more room. Look south, young man. How many of those immigrants can drive, are qualified drivers to take those containers, move them outside of the port to another facility somewhere around there so they can catch up with the ships? I am not a port master. I should get a degree in it. They'll tell me I'm stupid. Sometimes guys that don't know anything are the guys that can at least throw an idea. And I heard him say it. I heard the port master say it. We need more drivers. That way we can get it. I know that sometimes they take those different containers and they'll take them to a factory. There's no room. Make the factory make room for them. It's that simple. You're going to drop it. They got driveways. They got whatever. Drop it. Get this going. How hard can that all be? You got 100 and some odd ships out there. We have to have a better way. You keep telling me, and you being the port masters, the government, we don't have drivers. And there's 1 million people. How many of them are family people with the kids? They drove for a living. I know. All right. When I look at the S&P 500 index, you're coming up to the all-time high. Weren't we just falling apart in September? Now, October is normally a volatile month. It hasn't been one. It's been an upward month. That means that Santa Claus rally might come earlier than we think in the marketplace. Got to keep your eye on that. You can see how the market's been coming up. These are now running at the all-time highs. You can see that clear as can be. Here you go. I put this on for you just the other day, and I wanted to get this up there. Look at that. That's what the market's running against. That's your resistance point in the market. Trend up, bias up. Where's the Bollinger Band? Right there. You can back off from here, and I want to see a back off from there in all these, because ultimately I think they're going to offer us some buying opportunities. You have an embedded reading for all purposes now. Nasdaq, are we going to get the embedded reading? Embedded happens when the slow stochastic readings go sideways over 80 for 3 consecutive days or more. Can't count tonight. It's Friday. We don't know where it's going to finish. Day one was Thursday. Didn't have it on the day before. Just overbought. That's my point. You let it develop. But where's the resistance? I'll stand with what I teach in my enhanced Bollinger Band course. You make bottoms against Bollinger Bands, often with key moving averages. You come back up and you run into resistance at that barrier. The wider the band, you have to learn how to deal with width in a band and narrowness. I teach it in that course for you. What about the Dow? Well, that certainly looks like it's an embedded reading to me. So we get rid of Friday because we don't know how it's going to finish. But both numbers over 80, both over 80, both over 80, you're embedded. So to me, the game is on right now. There's a certain way on breaks that you buy. Take the course, you see it, okay? It'll give you the idea. I think the pros are going to buy these markets. You also had something else. Remember I told you to get ready. The 100-day and the 18, they married, and now you got a bullish crossover going on. That's another bullish element in the chart. In the Russell, higher lows, higher highs, overbought. So this led the charts to the upside, but it's not the stronger looking of the charts. The others are stronger looking. There's nothing wrong with this chart. Do I ever say buy a Bollinger Band? Never. Do I ever tell you to buy an overbought condition? Never. So wait on that one is what I would tell my clients. You're still dropping away. I was watching the John Nigerian, I think it was today on CNBC. I watch so much of this. I have all these screens going, and you get to see it. And they're talking about how low you're coming in this, and it will cause a correction. In other words, the deeper you drop, when you get the reversal, that's when the stock market will pull back. This is their game on. So they are really looking at this in a hard way. John, who I know, has been on many of my shows, he and his brother, Pete, when I used to have that show, Stocks, Options, and Futures. And living in Chicago, all the traders know each other. You go to these charity events, we all bump into each other. It's pretty cool. You're embedded. So one of the things you watch, if you take out today's high, get nervous. That could be a beginning of something. If you don't take out today's high on rallies, market's still a sale, but that's not a lot of room in it. So it's an interesting play. You got reasons to go short on a rally if you don't make a lower low first. Make a lower low, take out that high, you're probably into the point where you have to say, Ira warned me, it could be time for stock indices to pull back a little bit. In the 30-year bond, right down to the lower band, but all of them are going here. You know what you're at right now in the 10-year note? 1.7. Now, 2 months ago, a month ago, we'd get up into the 1.7 area on TV. Oh, we're at 1.7. These markets can't withstand it, the sell-offs. Today you go to an all-time high with the 1.7. The game changed on you. Observe changes. Be aware of them. The market's looking beyond the 1.7. It's now accepting the inflation scenario. Unilever, I'm going to repeat it. Procter & Gamble. Forget all the other inflation. When you're hearing every item you buy is going up, that's something you and your wife, your spouse, whatever it may be, can relate to. And that's the inflation, and that's what you got to start thinking about, and that's what this market's gearing up on. Dollar. Well, I think it made a near-term low today. It hit the lower Bollinger Band with that inflation reading. Should get a little bit of a bounce. You'll know that I'm into something if you take out the highs of Wednesday, and that was 93.88. That'll break the pattern of lower highs, lower lows. You are very oversold in the market. Eurocurrency just couldn't quite make it to that upper band. I'm sorry it didn't. It wouldn't surprise me if it backs off a bit right here. And in the pound, the market is now in a pattern of waiting for November 4th North. Isn't that funny? November 4th, when the Bank of England meets, and what are they going to do on interest rates? But you're embedding, the market is saying it's bullish. Respect the top for the near term at the 100-day in the upper Bollinger Band, but don't lose your overall bullishness. If you get a correction, I don't look for much more than the 18-day average, and keep your eye if you develop that embedded reading and it locks in. Bitcoin, okay. Where did you finish? Well, you didn't lose your embedded reading. So this is the pullback that I think the pros are still buying. If it closes under 79, then I'll have a different opinion for you over the weekend. We'll see if that does it. As for the Brent WTI, look at the size of this drop. They're nearly at parity with each other. So what does that mean for U.S. oil? It's strong. So first, Brent, you haven't lost the embedded reading. If and when you do, and you eventually will, you'll probably make a run back to the 18-day average. But until it's gone, the pros are buying. Nobody gets the last penny on a bull move. This has been phenomenal. The breaks have been nothing but buying opportunities. When it's over, it's over. It ain't over yet. WTI, still embedded. Same thing. If you're one of my morning subscriber people, You know what I've been telling you on these breaks. I've got the recordings. I'll stand behind what I teach you. I don't know that you took my advice, but I know what I said and I know what I teach. And the course stands on its own. And that's where the market was talking about it. Heating oil. Losing right now, might lose the embedded reading. So would you be a buyer right here today? No. Now, if it loses it, maybe we get back to that 18-day average for consolidation. Now, I want to go on record. The first snowfall and the first real cold weather, wherever this market is, you'll probably start getting your pops in the market. We're a little bit late in Chicago for even our first frost. We normally get it earlier. Snow, we could get it this month, but they're now saying the La Nina and the other events could make us warmer than normal again with more rain. Don't know, but that impacts your heating days, so you pay attention. Nat gas, well, once it hit the lower Bollinger Band, you know what I would be teaching. First time you hit it, you're out of all your shorts. Do you think you got yourself in trouble by doing that? I don't think so. So how do you learn to work with all this? Take a look. Welcome. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'm here to talk about my enhanced Bollinger Band course. Now, many of you have taken my regular charting course, and if not, you might think you know something about Bollinger Bands. As you know, Bollinger Bands are an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within it 95% of the time, and on a chart, it will offer on the top part resistance, on the bottom support, and the idea is the market will travel within them. We know that sometimes it latches onto that band, goes up or goes down. Well, how do you play with that? Can you pyramid the positions off that type of thinking? Well, I've applied all three of these into 13 different videos that teach you my concept of it. And from that concept, you're able to work with weekly charts and or daily charts. The 13 videos, each about 7 minutes long. The idea here is not to put you in school forever, but to teach. Now, if you haven't tried my complete futures research, I throw that in as well. Whether you've tried this or not, I think it's worth taking a look at. I think you're going to learn something from there. That research, by the way, covers twice daily market updates for you and access to what I call window envelope numbers, which I think are very important when looking at these Bollinger Bands. The next part is a trial to our charting software so you can make your charts look the same way that mine do. It's that simple. Where do you go with it and how do you get all this? It's simple. You go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. If you go to the word education, everything you need is answered there. You can also call my staff. They'll be happy to help you get set up. I'm Ira Epstein on the road to your education.